Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial we are going to be making up this beautiful dress in less than 30 minutes for a 4 to 5-year-old child. It's pretty simple, beginner friendly. If you are new to sewing, you can make this dress, trust me. Please do not forget to hit on the subscribe button and then like our videos if you enjoyed this tutorial. Let's delve right into the details. So I have here this bold printed strawberry fabric. It's actually a cotton print and I just love the design on it. So I have cut out 2 pieces of this fabric that I'll be using to make this simple and cute dress for a 4 to 5-year-old child. So I'll be cutting out both the front and then the back. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my measurement. This fabric is 27 inches in width and 20 inches in length. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be folding this fabric into 2. So here it is, I have folded it, making sure that the sides are even. I have the folded end here and the pieces towards this side, so I'm having 4 pieces in all. From the folded end of this fabric, I'm going to go in by 5.5 inches and then I will mark on top of the fabric this way. Then from that mark I just made, I'm going to go in by another 5.5 inches and then mark it across. Then I'll connect both points with a straight line. So I'm going to be connecting a straight line to touch this line I just made. This is where I'll be plotting my bust measurements. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to input a quarter of the bust measurement I'm working with, and I have 6.5 inches. I'll mark it on this chest line. Then I would connect a straight line from this chest line to the hem of the dress. So I'll connect this slant line and then mark it. And then I'll even out this line using a straight ruler. So I'm going to curve in my armhole, and then on the hem of this dress I'm going to mark 1 inch upward, and I will just shape the hem with a curve. So I've done that. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut out my pattern. So I'll start cutting out the shape I made at the hem, and then I will cut the sides of this dress all together. I'll set this aside, and then I have my sleeve fabrics here. I actually have 2 fabric unfold into 4 pieces. So the folded end is towards me here, and then I have the pieces here as well. So this fabric is 10 inches in width and then 10 inches in length. So I'm going to place the folded fabric on my mat this way, and then I'll bring in my main fabric piece for my dress, and then I'll place the dress on top of the fabric for the sleeve. I'll make sure that the folded ends are facing the same direction. Then I will go ahead and then cut out this fabric so it will take the shape of the dress on top of the fabric. So I'll cut it out, and that is it. We are done with the sleeve pieces. We'll set the dress pieces aside and then we'll concentrate on the sleeve. So I'll fold the hem of this sleeve in twice, about a quarter of an inch twice, and then stitch them on the sewing machine just to clean the hem of this sleeve. So I'm done cleaning the hem of the sleeve. This is what it looks like, and then this is what the other sleeve looks like as well. So I have one piece of my main dress on my mat here. I'm going to come in with one of the sleeve pieces. I'll place the armhole areas together, right sides facing right side, and then I would head to my sewing machine and stitch the armhole area down on half an inch. When I'm done with this, I'll bring in the second piece of sleeve and then place it on the other side of this dress, stitch it down on the sewing machine by half an inch as well. So I'm done stitching. This is what it looks like. This is the first part of this dress. The sleeve has been fixed, and then this is the second part. So I'm going to bring in the sleeve of the one that we just fixed, right sides again facing right sides, and then I would stitch this sleeve onto the main fabric as well. So I'll repeat the same thing we did for the first piece of fabric. So I'll stitch the other sleeve down as well on the sewing machine. Remember, it's right sides facing right sides. So I'll stitch them down. So I've stitched them down. This is what they look like, and this is what the back looks like as well. I also went ahead to serge my rough edges. So if you have a serger, you can do that as well, so you can have a beautiful finish. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be working on the channel at the neck and shoulder area where we'll be passing our elastic through. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in a quarter of an inch and then fold in 1 inch as well, and I will stitch from one end all through the other, but I'll be leaving about 3 inches in front here, so that I'll create an opening where I can pass my elastic through the channel. So I have stitched it down. This is what it looks like, and I also have my elastic band that I'll be passing through the casing. So this is the 3 inch opening we left to be able to pass our elastic through. So I have my elastic here. This elastic is 1 inch in width, and then the total length of this elastic is 18 inches. So with the help of my safety pin, I would pass my elastic through the channel. So remember to even out the gathers as you are passing this elastic through. I am done with the elastic. I will overlap the ends by 1 inch, and then I will stitch this down on the sewing machine, and making sure I also close up the opening I left on the neck region of this dress. So I'll go and stitch that down on the sewing machine. And remember, you need to even out the gathers so this comes out very well. So I'm done. This is what it looks like. It's looking so beautiful, simple and neat. So I'm left with closing up the sides of this dress. So I would hold the sleeves together and then stitch from the top of the sleeve through to the hem of this dress, and then I'll repeat the same process for the other side of the dress. Remember, I'll be stitching from the wrong side. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the hem of this dress as well. So I'll fold in the hem. I normally do this by folding in a quarter of an inch twice, and then when I'm done folding, I would stitch this down all round on the sewing machine. So I'm done. This is what the dress looks like. Pretty simple. This is a beginner friendly video, and I want to thank you so much for making time to watch this video, and I hope you agree with me that it is simple and easy to put together. Thank you so much for making time to stick with us. We'll see you in our next tutorial.